Thank you for tuning in to Entertain the Geeky, your source for nerd news.
Guys, what's going on? Chris and Roger with Entertain the Geeky here.
What up, Chris?
What up, Roger? And what's up, you nerds, geeks, and outcast?
Or, as I call you, friends.
That's right. We call you loved ones. Bringing you the nerd news right now. We're super excited. So,
really, a lot has happened. First and foremost, St. Louis's own Colin Bunn has announced that The Damned is going to be an ongoing series.
Yep.
Do you know anything about The Damned?
I'm not super familiar with it.
All right, so The Damned is a comic set in Prohibition times. So you have gangsters, you have private eyes, and it's all told through the eyes of one private eye. Here's the kicker, though. Demons and the occult are a thing, and everyone knows about them. Demons are the gangsters of this world. Now, your hero, the private eye, he can die, and he stays dead, so he can travel between the realms until someone else touches him. And then when someone else touches him, they die, and he comes back to life. Phenomenal book.
Peculiar.
Like it is a phenomenal book. I'm so excited to see that it's getting an ongoing series, and they are re-releasing the first 2 volumes in full color.
Who's that published to?
I don't know off the top of my head. I can't pull it up. My phone's being stupid.
Okay.
But I'll get more news and stuff like that. We'll do that next week. But yeah, I think Oni did the first 2 volumes. What?
That's right.
What? Robert Englund back as Freddy?
Yeah.
Oh, but it's only for a documentary.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Are you?
I'm. Anytime I get to see Robert Englund back as Freddy, I'm okay with it.
I mean, that's worth it 100%. So, one of the big things that we have not talked about yet has been Ben Affleck dropping out as director of Batman. And there was a brief moment where he was talking about, not him, but where rumors were circulating that he might drop out of the movie altogether.
Well, we kind of saw this coming.
We did.
With and I don't know if it... I mean, we talked about how Warner Brothers needs to calm down in an episode earlier.
Well, and then literally the next day, it's announced that he's stepping down as director.
He got so much heat for Fly By Night. And with the debacle that's going on in the DC Cinematic Universe, I could see why he would do that. Interesting side note, though. Mm-hmm. I read an article, and I'm gonna pitch this on a news segment here. I think it's time for a DC Universe reboot. And I think the only way to do it properly is to do a Flashpoint movie.
The cinematic universe?
Yeah.
They've hardly got anything.
Yeah, let's just hit the reboot button, get Zack Snyder out of there, let Feige take over, and do Flashpoint. You have...
Kevin Feige?
Yeah. Yeah.
The Marvel guy?
Get Kevin Feige take over. No, Geoff Johns.
Okay.
Geoff Johns, sorry. Yeah, the DC guy, Geoff Johns. Let him take over. Let Snyder back away. Snyder's done good work. It's just not... It's not gelling.
It's not what a comic book movie needs.
I hope they keep if they do this reboot, do Flashpoint. You already have the guy who plays Negan, and I can't think of his name all of a sudden, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Mm-hmm. He's displayed interest in playing Thomas Wayne, and I couldn't think of a better person to play Thomas Wayne in Flashpoint.
I mean, here's the thing. They could do a Flashpoint movie. They could... I just want them to do it right, man.
Well,
like they've got a great cast right now.
The best idea of doing Flashpoint is you can actually keep the same cast after the reboot.
Yeah.
And it makes total sense. Keep the same cast. You can change the tone now. Make the universe its whole, and just have Flashpoint be that jump off point.
That's the thing. This could be this dark, gritty universe, but do it right.
And I think there's just too much right now muddling the waters. They need, as much as I hate reboots, and we talked about this, I think that's the way to do it. Because people would see a Flashpoint movie not knowing what it was, call it Justice League Flashpoint, and have that just be the reboot. People would accept it, and you move on. You still get Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill and that really smoking hot chick that plays Wonder Woman.
Gal Gadot.
And the Flash. You can have these same actors play these characters, but now you hit the reset button. You can move forward, brand new day, and let Zack Snyder's DC universe rest in peace.
I like the tone that's been set for the series. This dark gritty thing.
I'm okay with the dark gritty thing. It's the plots. They're not.
They're trying to do too much in a movie.
Yeah, it's just not working.
Everybody's sick of the superhero coming to their own story. However, it is a necessary thing with a lot of characters. Not everyone.
No, it is.
With a lot of them. Could you make a good movie without doing so? Yes. What you would have to do, straight up do Dark Knight Returns. Straight up adapt what Frank Miller wrote adapt that to a film, and you would have a fantastic
And
movie.
you could do that. And I
Well, they
think
could.
and the thing is, I think by doing, I go back to Flashpoint because I mean that's what launched the New 52, and it seems like it's a really good story to do this because we don't need the origin stories of these superheroes anymore. We don't. Flashpoint gets them all there, shows what the world would be like if they weren't there, if it was just a little bit different. How awesome would it be to see Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Thomas Wayne, and then Laura Cohen, the one who played his mother in Batman vs Superman, as the Joker.
Well, and check this out. So if they did this, they could do this as like a 2 or 3 movie series
Yeah,
where you're in this alternate universe,
and it's setting up the reboot.
and it's setting up to get back to everything.
And by then you have the same actors, you have Ben Affleck, you have them all ready to go, and you've reset the universe to where Zack Snyder's DC universe stuff still happened. That's still a part, but now we're in this other universe, and we can actually have it congeal into one story.
Make a good movie.
Right. I mean, we're not saying these movies are bad. We're saying like in my mind, these
Everything's
movies
not there.
No, these movies stand by themselves. They're not a shared universe as much as we want them to be. Just because you put Batman and Suicide Squad does not make it a shared universe movie. They're too different. They're too disconjointed. It's not working right. It's not clicking. So you need to hit the reset button and come up with a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan, and release movies like that. Let Ben Affleck do what Ben Affleck wants to do, and just go from there. Because you have the best actor right now playing Batman that's ever put the
Hands
cowl on.
hands down.
And you're getting ready to lose him.
Over something stupid.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he got
It's creative control is ultimately what this is. You give an individual the reins, and you say, "Hey, we want you to do this,"
so
and then you pull it back, and it's like, "Dude, what do you expect?"
right. I think you need someone at the helm of all these movies, and Zack Snyder
He's not the guy.
he's not the guy. He's a great director, and you know what? Let him make movies with you still, but don't let him be the
Marvel
guy.
has to have 2 directors for all their movies because there's a lot going on.
You know. But I mean, speaking of that, though, we did get new Justice League images with Wonder Woman, Cyborg, and Aquaman. Have you seen these yet?
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
You know, I'm getting a little excited for this movie.
I'm excited about the movie. There's no denying that. That being said, I'm so scared. And you know what's funny? And we have not talked about this on the show yet, and this is extremely important. They are still trying to figure out who they want to play Green Lantern. Ryan Reynolds is still in the front running.
Is he really?
Yes.
Okay.
After he made a movie that bashed it, and they were like, "Hey, let's go ahead and keep him as a front runner." There's a couple other names in there, but it's like, who cares?
Just have him do it.
No.
I would have Ryan Reynolds do it.
We don't need. I want Jon Stewart as my Green Lantern.
I don't want Jon Stewart anywhere
I
near
do.
Green Lantern.
God, I do.
I don't. I think.
I mean. Okay, I'm talking about like the '90s Justice League cartoon that we grew up with.
Yeah. You know who I think? Like, okay, you lose. Hal.
That's what I'm saying. And do Jon Stewart.
Wasn't who's
Jon Stewart's the black one.
Well, then Isa Nibla, whatever his name is, Ilsa, whatever.
Yeah.
The guy in Star Trek Beyond, and
Yeah.
do him.
Yeah. No, that's my Green Lantern. That's the one that I grew up with.
I didn't really grow up with Green Lantern. I had a problem with anyone that could be taken down with a number 2 pencil.
No, my Green Lantern was Jon Stewart because he's awesome, and that adds the right kind of.
See, I thought when you were saying Jon Stewart, you meant the Daily Show guy.
No.
And like I was like, no, I don't want him anywhere near my Green
No,
Lantern.
God, no. No, I don't want him to come and spew his political crap on a movie.
Speaking of which, did you see what's hitting the web sphere out there?
What?
Get your politics off my comics.
Which I feel like we've talked about this before.
More than once. Well, did you read the article?
Yes, I did.
So for you guys that don't know, here's the tipping point. Image, and we've shown Image some love lately. Image was doing pro-life, not pro-life,
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood, pro-abortion, Planned Parenthood things, special limited edition covers, where proceeds of those cover sales will go to Planned Parenthood. And a comic book store owner just went, and he's
That was it.
Yeah, he was like, "Look, I'm tired of having
You hawk your political agenda like this is escapism.
And
Escapism.
that's what I said. You walk like he's like. I tell my employees this: customers that come in here are trying to get away from the real world for 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And they don't want to be inundated with it in their comics. And I kind of go back and forth on this. You can tell a really good comic story with modern day events going on.
Of course.
But leave the extra stuff
There's
out.
a political bias that's pushed.
And leave it out.
And, that's part of the problem here. Like, you can talk about current events. Yes. Do you have to push your side of it? No.
A little bit of editorial. Here's the thing. A little bit of editorializing is fine. I think where this line got drawn so much so was, it was, if you buy this special cover, proceeds are going here. And like that has nothing to do with the storyline of the book. That has nothing to do with the characters in the book. It's just strictly,
Well, okay.
we'll do this.
I cannot stand Dan Slott,
Okay.
the guy that writes for Spider-Man. He is constantly pissing and moaning about different politicians and this, that, and the other. And it's like, dude, you have one of the coolest jobs ever. You literally get to write the Spider-Man comics. Shut up, write these books, have fun. Like when you're engaging with your, because everybody follows you not because they care about you, but because they care about the character that you were blessed enough to write for.
There's a little bit of that. There's a little bit of that. The bench warmers mentality of these guys need to realize they're doing something that millions of people would love to do for half the cost. And they're getting paid.
Honestly, the biggest thing is know your place.
Yeah, if you
Know your place.
Truly, if we're not saying, my issue is, I'm not saying you can't be a political activist. I mean, that's great. If you truly, honestly believe something strong enough that you want to go out and you want to be an activist and you want to speak your mind, do it. But keep the work separate. I can't go to my job and say half the stuff that's said in these comic books nowadays.
No, absolutely not.
Because I get fired on the spot.
Yep.
And there's a time and place for your Trump or Obama bashing, your conservative or your liberal viewpoints, and comic books aren't the place to do it. Tell the story.
Well, when Spawn did their reboot a couple of years ago, when Al Simmons became Spawn again,
Yeah.
I was reading. I guess it was issue 250. Was that the one?
250.
I was reading 250, and it was a bunch of real world events.
Black Lives Matter.
All this, that, and the other. And the book it leaned really strong to the left.
It did.
And I was like, you know what, man? I'm so sick of this. Like, it doesn't matter what side you lean to. Why do you want this crap in your comic books?
And it's weird because it was talking about Spawn coming back to Al Simmons, and they were showing all these things as Al Simmons has been. That's why I didn't get
it.
Because
literally all it was whoever the writer that they switched to. It was a way for him to push his agenda a little bit, and it's like, dude, why?
Yeah, I'm okay with you having an agenda. You have a blog for a reason.
Have your opinion. I'm fine with that.
You can Twitter blast and blog post.
Well, here's the thing. So even with Twitter blasting, like I am pretty active on Twitter. I have to be for Entertain the Geeky. I post zero political stuff on there. Why? It's irresponsible for me as a figurehead for this operation. And why is that? It's not because we could lose fans. It's not because we gain fans or anything like that. We do this because it's escapism.
It's not what we do. But if Chris on your own personal account went and did some things, that's one thing.
That's the thing.
That's different.
I don't even on my own personal
But that's
account.
okay. You could like.
But it's not responsible.
I'm okay. I don't care if it's responsible. It's still okay.
I do. Like if
it's okay
if I can sway you either way by crap that I post on social media, it's not really my place to do so. If you wanted to have a conversation with me about something political, that's a totally different story. But the fact of the matter is, I don't get on a social platform and say, hey, this is my belief system. If you don't believe this, you're stupid.
That's okay. But hold on. You're getting very emotional here.
Well, it's just silly.
It's okay to do that. If you're Dan Slott and that's what you want to do on your personal thing, fine, do that.
Then don't make your profile picture Spider-Man.
Don't do it with your comic books.
Douchebag.
Well, let your comic book tales be the tales. I don't want. I want to read a comic book where it's good versus evil and we're done.
Well, here's the thing. He doesn't do it so much in the comic books.
And that's fine then. I'm okay with that.
On his personal Twitter, don't make your profile picture Spider-Man.
I'm okay with that. I don't really care what he makes his profile picture.
I do, man, because
that's
people
Spider-Man.
follow you because of who you write.
Yeah, that's fine. But I have no problem with Brad Pitt. If Brad Pitt,
I want to hear. This is what I want to hear from a celebrity, like especially somebody that I follow that's in the comic book world. Oh man, I'm writing this new issue. I'm super excited for you guys to write it. Maybe a little tiny, something to nibble on.
Like, that's fine too, but I'm okay. That's what you want, but I'm still okay with him saying, hey, the situation in Darfur has gotten out of hand. We need to do something. Like, I'm going old school, so I'm not tripping on actual political issues. I'm I'm okay with that. I'm okay with celebrities when they're out promoting their movies. They talk about their movie, they hit their little thing that they're passionate about, and then they move on. What I'm not okay with is when you have every single thing that you do is being tied into your political agenda. I'm not okay with the fact
Everything
that
is like that.
that they're talking about banning. They're talking about not doing the Oscars this year because Trump won. I'm not okay with the fact that all we see in acceptance speeches is bashing the government, or bashing this or bashing that because the guy that you wanted to win didn't win. Fine, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that didn't happen. I'm sorry that Trump won. And for those people that voted for Trump, I'm not sorry that Trump won. You have your rights to do things, and you have your rights to protest and preach, but keep it out of our entertainment. Keep it out of our escapism. We get inundated enough of it in the real world. Walking down the street nowadays, you got protests in the street. You've got all these
Get
things
off
going
your
on.
freaking soapbox.
That's fine. Stay on your soapbox,
I'm
but
so sick of it.
make sure your soapbox don't get into my web slinging.
That's the thing. Like, the soapbox is everywhere now.
If I walk into
It's
a comic
everywhere.
book store, I don't want to be inundated with Planned Parenthood. I don't want to be.
Oh, hell no.
I don't want to be inundated with the NRA when I walk into a comic book
Hell
store.
no.
It doesn't matter if it's conservative or liberal. I want to walk into a comic book store and buy my damn comics.
I want to buy my Power Rangers comic and have them fight Rita.
That's all I want. And I want to talk with the guy behind the counter about the awesome new pop fig that came out, or the really cool Absolute Watchmen edition.
Or yeah, the issue that I just read of this.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is,
Or what dice I should buy.
everybody is pissing and moaning about politics all the time, regardless of the side that you're on.
Right.
If you're on the left side, you're crying because your guy didn't win. If you're on the right side, you're crying because the people on the left side are crying about this, that, or the other. Like, whatever. Get over it.
That's fine.
Just
Cry.
get over it.
No, hold on, because we're not here to say that. Here's what I'm here to say. Go ahead and cry, but realize when you tune in to Entertain the Geeky and you walk into your comic book stores and you put that entertainment on that you want that 2.5 hours away from the real world, that's what we're here to do. And everyone else that does it, that's part of this industry of entertainment and escapism, realize that you're trying to do something that's way more than your political agenda.
It's bigger than you.
You're giving someone a reason to escape away from out of these world problems,
Well,
just for a little bit.
It's a small beacon of hope in a bleak world.
Yeah, it's just a little bit, and I think we've lost that. We've lost that ability just to unplug for a minute. Now everywhere we turn, it's all the time down your throat. I mean, we just spent the past 12 minutes talking about this for us to say stop talking about it and do some escapism.
It's obscene though, and
It
it's
is.
not.
There's no reason. There is no reason for a comic book company to push out Planned Parenthood or the NRA and give them money off our backs through the comic book stores, because now heaven help us if a comic book store doesn't hit those Planned Parenthood issues and someone throws a brick through their window or sets the store on fire, or now you've just destroyed that community's escape.
Yep.
That store's gone now because they didn't carry an issue about Planned Parenthood or the NRA or whatever reason they want. Get your politics out of our comics. I don't want to see Donald Trump on the cover of Spider-Man. I don't want to see Barack Obama on the cover of Spider-Man. Get your politics out of our comics.
Yep.
Wow, we went on a rant there. So
There, guys.
go to beastescaperoom.com, enter the promo code GEEKY, get 20% off your 1-hour Beast Escape Room experience. Go to entertainthegeeky.com. That's where all of our social medias are. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, whatever. We have it out there.
And as always, we speak passionately about these things because we care deeply for them.
We do. And I think this time it was a weird rage for us because it wasn't... Like, we're not angry that people are passionate about
frustrated.
politics. We're frustrating that
It's dirtying different... You're contaminating a different pond.
it used to be you never talk politics and religion, and now it's it's just
That's all
everywhere.
it is. That's all
And
it is.
I don't want that in my hour trip to the comic book store a week. I don't want that when I turn on X-Men or Spider-Man or try to watch Batman. I just want to kick back, relax, read a cool tale.
Well, that's the thing. When we're engaging in a lot of these things, that's a different world. It's a world
not
that's
our
not
world.
mine.
Right.
And why?
And
Because I need to see something different than what's
they
in
can
mine.
be very dark and gritty. They can be very, very bright and hopeful. They can be anything in between, and we're okay with that. We just keep the real world politics out of our comics. I can't believe Image did this. I'm sorry. I just can't.
No, it's sad.
I'm
honestly, we toot their horn and then they do that, and I'm like, kind of like, really, man? Like, leave the politics alone, dude.
Like, I'm okay if Todd McFarlane wants to donate to Planned Parenthood. Todd McFarlane,
That's great.
donate
That's-
to Planned Parenthood.
At that point, that's his priority.
Don't make special issues that I have to buy because, it's going to go to Planned Parenthood. That's just if I want to donate, let me donate. If you want to donate, you donate. Don't try to shove
Or the
it.
NRA.
No,
Whatever.
I'm done with the NRA because they're not doing that. They're doing Planned Parenthood, and I'm tired of beating around the bush. It's stupid.
It is.
It doesn't matter if you agree with abortion or not. It's a stupid way to get your point across.
Yep. And on the note of screaming children and crying adults, guys, stay geeky.